Hey everyone, JCS Starcraft here, bringing you Game 3 between the clan war between Root Gaming and Evil Genius, with Slush from Root Gaming, representing Root Gaming, as the blue Zerg, and LZGamer as the yellow Terran. Slush giving him some nice compliments, or maybe just to psych out his opponent, who we never know. This was a best of 3 series, and I think at this point Root Gaming was up, so there is some there's some pressure riding on LZGamer to get revenge. This was the best of 3. Slush took game 1. LZGamer came back in game 2 with a very nice Hellion attack timing that kind of wiped out Slush's economy a little bit. And then as Slush transitioned into a Mutiling build, LZGamer was able to build up enough in the army to get in there and win that battle. So right now, both players playing on Metalopolis, spawning at the 3 and 9 o'clock positions. This kind of favors Slush as a Zerg player. You typically want to be as far away as possible from your Terran player to allow you to get that fast expand, get it down, and really be at an economic advantage. So this definitely plays a little bit better for Slush at this point, but we'll see how both players play and where they go. LZGamer, kind of a little bit of popularity in the post-launch as he started experimenting with this mass Reaper build against Zerg, where he could use the Reapers to really kind of do some early harassment, but also once those Reapers have the Nitro Packs on, they can really kite around and just do a lot of damage to the tier 1 Zerg units. And so right now we see Slush is going to get harassed by that worker, something that Terran often has to deal with when they build their barracks. Pretty much at the ramp is the scouting unit will kind of run in there and try to harass. I think the last game, Slush was actually able to hold that barracks off for quite some time. Looking at LZGamer, has scouted, where is his scouting probe? I don't know if it ran in here, or here it is. Just kind of running around, checking out Slush's build. Slush has been pretty consistent with this build, has taken the 14 hatch and 16 pull. So LZ trying to respond to that and trying to get some units out there, really push either that early Reaper or Hellion. And this game right now, kind of a standard build for him as well. Looks like he went 12 racks and 13 refinery, now going to be throwing down the factory. We'll see whether or not he does a reactor. I think on a few games ago he built that reactor on the barracks and then swapped it out so that he could pump out Hellions as fast as possible. Did work for him last game, and so we'll see whether or not he continues it here. This expansion kind of wide open, a big area, so a little bit more difficult to defend against the Hellions running in, unless Slush throws down a few well-placed spine crawlers, which can help hold off those Hellions. So right now, just looking at the income tab, looks like Slush is going to be starting to saturate both areas. Has his overlords trying to get some scouts out. Has that lone Zergling, going to probably get right up here to detect any sort of movement by LZGamer to see if there's going to be anything that's going to be coming at him, and so he can switch from building drones and saturating and building up his economy to massing the Zerglings. Looking like he's going to be, is he going to be researching speed? No, not going to be researching speed anytime soon. Might be saving up for something else at this point, but we haven't really seen what. LZGamer now going to be doing that swap and going to be getting down an expansion of his own. Once he's going to have these Hellions to really harass and try to keep Slush within his base. Slush really hasn't been pressuring him a lot in the early game, just trying to establish his economic advantage. And going to be using that overload right here to come in and get some scouting on. So Slush with the second refinery and getting things up. I think he's going to move out probably when he has the supply depots gone, going to get a critical mass of Hellions, which for him is going to be 3 Hellions, but it's going to be pumping out more. Has it rallied all the way to the base, right outside the base of Slush. Slush now throwing down one of his spine crawlers. Is a great position for the spine crawler as it can take hits to those Hellions, and Slush again using the Queen to block off his ramp. And this is really important to have this combination right here, because both can attack the Hellions as they come in. Meanwhile, the Hellions are going to be running in on the outside. There is another spine crawler going down there, but going to be blasting away at the drones, and I think 2 drones going down, 3 drones going down, maybe a 4th one going down, but LZ's gonna try to, Slush running them in a little bit too early there, and going to be taking out several drones of Slush. But now that these spine crawlers are down, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for LZGamer to do a harass. He's going to be using that timing it now to float out his command center, and looks like he's going to be going Thors and throwing down a few more Raxes. So a combination of the Tech Marine Marauder Bio Ball. Now LZGamer seeing that the ramp is open again. Slush just getting caught off guard just again with that queen, and now just going to get several of his probes roasted. Slush doing a great job with the harass again. It looks like we might have a repeat of the last game. Meanwhile, it looks like Slush is going to be going for Infestors this game, so going that Infestor Ling combination, which other players have gone for, like Dabu, to go up against Terran and all sorts of Terran mech. Now Slush is microing this one Hellion at 1 HP. Can't even see that life bar on him, still alive somehow. And Slush meanwhile just going to run all his probes to the other base. Looking at the income tab right now, Slush has been saturating quite a lot, and so even though he has taken a significant amount of damage to his drones, is able to catch back up, and not too much other pressure right now from LZGamer. LZGamer opted, instead of, I think, really pushing out a one basis to try to establish for the mid game, so trying to hurt Slush's economy as much as possible right now, and able to pull ahead because of the mules in the mining. But harvester count, Slush right now trying to test the grounds, seeing if he can retaliate at all, but there's going to be way too many Hellions here, even for these speedlings, to do any sort of damage. So Slush now in recovery mode, and pretty much just pumping out probes, drones to catch right back up. Not too worried at this point. I think he has these lings to kind of scout, and is pushing LZGamer back into his base so that LZ doesn't make a really strong push right now. Looking at the available units, Slush only really has 9 lings and 1 infestor. If LZGamer pushed in right now, he could probably do a good amount of damage. He is throwing down his scan, but I think would feel comfortable with just a few more units coming out. Does have two reactors down, and is going to just pump out a ton of Marines right now. Is, I think, waiting for... It looks like Slush is going to be changing his strategy this game. In the previous 2 games, he did go for the Mutalisk, so it could be that LZGamer doesn't want to get caught off guard this time, pumping out a ton of Marines, getting that Bible. Has 3 barracks with 3 reactors going, so just going to try to pump out as many Marines as possible, and just waiting for him to move out right now. It looks like, yeah, Slush is just using this time, has a really good instinct about his opponent, and has the Xel'Naga Watchtowers, is able to see when his opponent's about to make the move, but instead of just building up any units, has just decided that he's going to try to catch back up in economy, and really now he does not want those Hellions to come in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 spine crawlers going down, so this expansion not going to go anywhere. No tanks from LZGamer at this point, really just investing in the Thor and Bio Ball combination. So he's not, it's going to be pretty difficult once these spine crawlers go up for LZGamer to do anything against that until the tanks really come out. LZGamer right now a little bit supply blocked, and looking at the army count is pretty far ahead, has a 86 to 67 supply count, but I think that window is kind of closing for LZGamer to make that push. I think he wanted a higher critical mass, and I'm not sure if he's waiting for... Looks like he might be doing a timing attack where he's waiting for +1 weapons to kick in for all his ground units right now, and then going to push ahead once that finishes. Also researching combat shield for his Marines, and just kind of massing units right now, thinking that... I think he might have a feeling that he's ahead in the economy. Did burn a ton of those probes, but at this point, looking at the income tab, Slush has caught back up and is matching him in the harvester count. So LZGamer now, knowing that Slush has probably just been kind of catch up in economy, is going to go ahead and take the gold expansion and try to out macro his Zerg opponent. And usually that's a very strong position. If you as a Terran can out macro your Zerg opponent, then that's a scary thing for the Zerg, to have Terran pull in more resources than you. But meanwhile, Slush is going to be taking his expansion, his third expansion, third base as well, and sending these speedlings to kind of find anything on the map. I think Slush does have this Zelnaga watchtower, was able to see what was going on, or did gain sight of that, and is sending that in. LZGamer having to cancel now and going to be pushing out, trying to push out against this force. So we'll see if LZGamer is going to use this opportunity to push an attack. Right now, Slush still just doesn't have, is going Corruptors and getting the Greater Spire down. So, which is right behind here. So interesting move by Slush. He might be morphing these into Broodlords, or we'll see what he's going to do with these Corruptors right now. The Spire still has a bit to morph, and right now LZGamer kind of losing his advantage. Does have the two Vikings in the air patrolling, and does see Slush has taken an Expo of his own. Kind of a risky Expo by Slush. It's very far away. His creep isn't connected to it just yet. Those speedlings can come in and try to defend it, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's pretty far away, and it's going to kind of divide his army in case LZ decides to send some Hellions up here to harass. And not sure why LZ at this point hasn't really responded. Has scouted it with his Vikings, but has a bunch of Hellions sitting around, and I think right now just, yeah, not too sure. I think he just wants to really secure this expansion, make sure that he has it for the mid game, for the late game, as both players are going to start taking over their sides of the map. Is throwing down this sensor tower, so does want to see and is able to pick out that these Zelnaga watchtowers are being seen by Slush. Slush definitely has sight, really important control of these Zelnaga watchtowers to see